Chairman, I come from a state that has a long tradition of supporting religious freedom. In fact, it was Thomas Jefferson of Virginia who wrote the Virginia Statute for Religious Freedom, which predates the First Amendment to the Constitution. So it's the First Amendment to the Constitution by which we should judge the constitutionality of this resolution. The Establishment Clause of the First Amendment states that Congress will make no law respecting an establishment of religion. This clause not only prohibits the government from establishing an official religion, but also prohibits the government actions that unduly favor one religion over another. It also prohibits the government from unduly preferring religion over non-religion or non-religion over religion. More than 50 years, the Supreme Court has used three interrelated tests to analyze alleged violations of the Establishment Clause. Those are the endorsement test, the coercion test, and the limit test. H. Congress 13 fails all three. Under the endorsement test, we must ask whether the resolution is an unconstitutional endorsement of one view of religion over another. In fact, it is. First, it prefers religion over non-religion, and that's a violation. Further, it endorses a specific type of religion, monotheism, over other religions, again, a violation. In 1992, Justice O'Connor stated that the government's endorsement of a religion sends a message to non-adherents that they are outsiders, not full members of the political community, and an accompanying message to adherents that they are insiders, favored members of the political community. In fact, the fact is that the U.S. is comprised of people of many faiths, and those that do not believe in religion, as is each person's right. The passage of this resolution would send a message to the American people that our government favors religion, and specifically one religion over another in violation of the endorsement test. H. Congress 13 also fails the coercion test, which examines whether individuals are coerced into being exposed to a religious message. In this case, the resolution supports and encourages public display of the national motto in all public buildings, public schools, and other government institutions. As the Supreme Court explained in 1987, the court has been particularly vigilant in monitoring compliance with the Establishment Clause in elementary and secondary schools. Families entrust public schools with the public education of their children by condition their trust on the understanding that the classroom will not purposely be used to advance religious views that may conflict with the private beliefs of the student and his or her family. Students in such institutions are impressionable and their attendance is involuntary. Similarly, people who are compelled to visit government buildings or to transact government business, such as obtaining a passport, a social security card, and so forth, forced to visit the public buildings which are hard-earned taxpayers' dollars paid for, and they will be forcibly subjected to the religious sentiment. The third test, Mr. Chairman, is the limit test, which was derived from the 1971 Supreme Court case, Lemon v. Kurtzman, which held that there is a violation of the Establishment Clause when there is no secular or non-religious purpose to legislation. The resolution on its face demonstrates that there is no secular or non-religious purpose, and therefore it's unconstitutional. In the past, in a very similar debate, which we're discussing the constitutionality of the phrase "under God" and the Pledge of Allegiance, I indicated that I agreed with the dissent in the case of Nidal versus U.S. Congress. And the operative language that I agreed with was legal world abstractions and regulations aside, when all is said and done, the danger that under God and the Pledge of Allegiance intend to bring about a democracy or suppress somebody's belief is so minuscule as to be de minimis. The danger that the phrase represents to our First Amendment freedoms is picayune at best. Judges, including Supreme Court judges, have recognized the lack of danger in that and expressed similar expressions for decades, if not centuries. And thus, the language of the national motto in itself may be de minimis, but this resolution is not. Today, we face the highest deficit in United States history, unemployment rate around 9%. Children who, by various circumstances of their birth, are automatically injected into the cradle-to-prison pipeline, a national disaster in Japan, including the possibility of an imminent nuclear disaster. Instead of facing these realities and dealing with these difficult issues, instead of helping American people make sure they have a roof over their head and food on the table, we are debating whether or not to confirm and proliferate the motto that was adopted in 1956 and is under no threat of attack. Mr. Mr. Chairman, this resolution cannot be considered de minimis. The problem underlying that principle and enacting this resolution is that the actions may do more harm than good. The de minimis principle is precarious at best. It is easily undermined by the fact that we spend the time we're spending on this resolution and the emphasis we've placed on the importance of the resolution. The importance that we have fixed to this resolution by holding this markup and having a debate increases the magnitude of the attention we give to the issue and subverts the argument that the resolution might be considered de minimis and in fact increases the constitutional vulnerability of the resolution. Mr. Chairman, the resolution fails all three Establishment Clause tests and cannot be considered de minimis. We therefore, by supporting this passage, violate the Constitution of the United States. We were sworn as members of Congress. We promise to uphold the Constitution. Supporting this resolution violates that oath. For those reasons, and because we have other business to conduct, I hope the resolution is defeated. And as unanimous consent, the comments from the people for the American way be submitted to the record.
Without objection, the statement about the record will be made by the record. Thank you, Mr. Scott, for your statement. We have a number of members who want to speak on this resolution. We also have a series of 4 votes called. So we will stand in recess until after the votes are concluded. Please return immediately after the last vote, and we will continue our debate on this resolution.